This is a Kitzur Yomi as we continue the fifth parak here in Kitzur, and we are up to Sif Tes. Says the Kitzur, we continue learning the halachais of Kedushah when it comes to if there's Tzo'ah, if there's Ervah there, etc. Says the Kitzur, Bayisha B'Salim B'Yit Tzibur, in a house that the Tzibur is davening, V'nimsa Sham Tzo'ah, and Tzo'ah is found there. If it's behind the chazin, and it's more than 4 amos away from where the smell is no longer smelled. You have to wait until it's covered over, until it's removed. Why? It's not possible. You're in a shul, you're in a place where a tzibur is davening. Someone's going to be within Dalit Amos, from the place that you can't smell it anymore. You're not allowed to, it's not going to be possible to listen and have kavanah. That what the Sheikh Sibur is saying. Again, in our world of not only plumbing, in our world of diapers, this is not so relevant. Back Bizman Chazal, when of course there was no such thing, so a child could have an accident, mom is sitting there on the floor. So, but that's the halach, that if you're in a shul, there's more care that has to be given if Tzo'ah is found, because it's going to be impossible, that's not going to affect someone in the vicinity. Mishes Valel in Sif Yod, so and then afterwards he realized that there was Tzo'ah in the area. In the bottom they point out within Dalit Amos, if it was a safek, before he started, he should have been suspectful. Maybe there was Tzo'ah that and he was negligent. Then keep the tefillah Shemon Esrei he b'makam carbon. Shemon Esrei is the din of a carbon. Havelei zevach rishayim toyeva. Then it's a carbon of a rasha. How can you bring a carbon in an area that there might have been something that invalidates your carbon? V'sarech lachzol espalol Shemon Esrei. You got to read Davin Shemon Esrei. First of all, we're seeing that Shemon Esrei mamish is a din of a carbon. How careful we should be. And of course, how careful one should be to make sure that there's nothing disgusting in the vicinity. You have to say Kriya Shema again. But you don't say Birchas Kriya Shema again. The brachas that you said in that area, in a place where excrement was found, would say. So that was talking about a case where you were negligent. But let's say it's a place that you had no reason to suspect that there was Tzo'ah there. To Azalai Pasha, you were not negligent. If someone found there was meraglayim, there was urine there, even in a place where one could have had a safek yaitz b'diavad gam b'tfilah, then he is yaitze b'diavad his tefillah. We continue with Sif Yud Aleph Yatzah Mimenu Ruach Malamata. If someone passes gas, Asar B'Davar Shebik Ad Shichla Reach. You have to wait for the smell to pass until you do say Dvarim Shebik Dusha. But let's say you're standing there in shul, and unfortunately the guy next to you, you also have to wait. Rak Im Yasik Im Oisik Belima Taira In Yitzhak Lahamtin V'Shol Ruach She'etzim someone is Isaac in Limud Torah and he starts smelling a bad smell, the person next to him passed gas, then one does not have to stop. And the reason is, on the bottom over here, they quote the Mishnah Berurah and Seminayin Tes. They don't want to be Mavatzal Torah. However, when it comes to Shema, then one would have to distance himself from that. Beis Akisei, Aval B'Yishem Mechitzos Ve'in Batzaya, Svicha Lachemenu. The Beis Akisei itself has a stigma of Tzo'ah, and even if right now there is no Tzo'ah on it, you still have to distance from it. And therefore, a bench or a seat that was made with a hole in the middle of it, a toilet, of course, Shamamidim tachtav graf lefano is a love, more of a chamber pot, more of an outhouse. That is a pot underneath that catches the tzaya, and then you remove it. Afal pisha tzias a graf. Even if you remove the tzaya, v'kisi as a negative, and you close the top with the board. Komakim yishal l'safsol zed din beisa kisei swich leitzim and abayis removed from your house. Oy lechasisei kula, you're covered completely. Which, just to put the picture in perspective, this would be similar to davening in the bathroom. That in there. Right now, the tzaya is not there. You flushed. Right now, you cover the toilet. But the bathroom itself has the stigma. So back, Bisman, Chazal, if it was an actual chamber pot, you move the pot, but the seat's still there, would have a similar din. Or, in a similar scenario, if someone would have a child's potty, would have a similar scenario. That even if it's cleaned out, but the potty itself is something that is used for tzaya, and would have to be removed from the room to daven. But let's say it's a regular chair as well. It's covered with a pillow. Only sometimes you move the pillow and it's created into a chamber. With that, you could be make, which I think some of the potties are similar, that they also double as regular chairs, and that might be an avenue for kula. Continues the Kitzur Sif Yud Gimel. Grav shel rei a chamber pot, v'avid shel meiraglayim, or a urinal. Mim shel chayros shel eitz made of earthenware, or what dinam kiveis like he say. V'avid b'shem the kiyim lo yireach ra. V'avid no stechamayim, and if there's water in it, or sheb fanav al pm, or if you turn it over, loy mahani. V'afilu naslan tachsa mita, even if put onto your bed, loy mahani doesn't help. The mita shalanu in a chitzatzes, ella sarach lasir min abayis, oy lechasaysa. But now comes along the Kitzur and he modifies everything we spoke about today. I hope no one clicked out yet. But if it's made out of glass or metal, then if you wash it well, there's no smell. Because then imamish could be completely clean. It's not something one has to worry about. In the bottom they quote Ramesh Feinstein, he discussed the catheter. Very, very difficult shaylos. Pia chazir, the mouth of a pig. Even darker lenakar but tzaya, the pig itself sticks its face into the tzaya. Dina kigraf sharev avilo oilim in anar. If it just came out of the river, ina rachitza melos lai. One cannot say dvarim shebekdusha. I don't know. Maybe an application would be someone's at the zoo and there's pigs over there. You would not be able to say dvarim shebekdusha. The Shem Hashem Shema opposite the pigs. B'vayis hamerchatz gamkin. In the bathhouse as well. You cannot think or discuss dvarim shebekdusha. Also, ask your Shem time you can't say Hashem's name. Afilu b'lashon chol kigoyin gut b'lashon askenaz God. Oibuga b'lashon pailin Russia. B'isem merchatzas or b'mavayis hatunafais. You can't say God, and something that we have to realize that the word G-O-D, God, is the same thing as the Shem Hashem for some level, and therefore it cannot be said in a filthy area. You can't say Shalom. Why? Shalom is the name of Hashem. Let's say someone's name is Shalom. Some say you can't call him in such a place. You're not thinking about Hashem's name. In the hak of your Shemayim, though, yesh loy lahachmer your Shemayim should be machmer. Asr ledaber divrei Torah Kedusha neged Ervah. Now we go and we segue from the Sifim that dealt with Tzo'ah into Ervah. And just to point out that the last Sif just taught us that in the bathhouse, which maybe would be more relevant in a mikvah, we're going to have to discuss that. You cannot say the Shem, Hashem, or Dvarim Shebekdusha. Also, Dvarim Shebekdusha neged Ervah, Bein Sheloi, Bein Shel Acher. Whether it's one's own Ervah, one is sitting there completely undressed, so his Ervah is exposed, or someone else's Ervah. And at the bottom over here, they point out the Shulchan Aruch teaches us even of a guy, even a young child. And again, at the bottom they point out very, very important that if it's a boy less than 9, a girl less than 3 is not an issue, which of course is maybe the only time that this would be relevant with a child, hopefully. Rak letzerech mitzvahs mila, aside for a mila, mot lavarech neged ervas hatinoik, which of course is in parentheses. This is a question of what we just said, because we just said it's 9 and 3, and of course 9 days is not. But okay. If you close your eyes, if you close your eyes, loy ma'ani. Kivan shehu negdai, the Ervah is next to you, aliyata panav v'gufa mikinegdai. So it does not help just to close one's eyes. If there's Ervah in front of someone, you're not allowed to say Dvarim Kedusha out of your mouth. You have to turn away your body. Very relevant. If someone is making Kiddush, maybe in a more modern area, if someone is making a bracha, maybe in a public setting, and opposite them is Ervah. So even if he's closing his eyes, he's not looking, you can't see the bracha. You have to turn away from the Ervah. We'll pick it up from here. B'siyata d'shmaya.